Let us start chemistry. In chemistry, electrochemistry chapter, we will see. In electrochemistry, we will go for relation between degree of dissociation and lambda m, molar conductivity. Now let us see relation between degree of dissociation and molar conductivity. For this, let us take the electrolyte acetic acid. Acetic acid is dissolved in water. It dissociates to give acetate ion and H plus ion. Acetate ion and H plus ion. Now, initially let us take suppose some A moles of acetic acid. It is undergoing dissociation. Dissociation how many moles means suppose X moles of acetic acid dissociating. At equilibrium, how many moles of acetic acid is there means A minus X moles of acetic acid is there. How much acetate ion is there means X moles of acetate ion is there and H plus ions X moles present. Now we will take this solution, this acetic acid solution to infinitely diluted solution. Infinitely diluted solution means degree of dissociation is 1. So acetic acid is completely dissociating. So undissociated acetic acid is not present. Since acetic acid is completely dissociating, acetate ions will be A moles present and H plus ions will be A moles present. That means complete dissociation of acetic acid. Now we will see degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation is equal to number of moles of acetic acid dissociated by initial number of moles of acetic acid. Number of moles of acetic acid dissociated is how much means X. Initial number of moles of acetic acid is how much means A. Therefore, X is equal to A alpha. Yes, X is equal to A alpha. Set. Next we will see, here we will say. Now, molar conductivity at a given concentration is directly proportional to molar conductivity at a given concentration of anion, acetate ion, plus molar conductivity at a given concentration of H plus, like this we can say. Now, molar conductivity at a given concentration of acetic acid is directly proportional to what means acetate ions X moles plus H plus ions X moles. Acetate ions X moles plus H plus ions X moles. So molar conductivity at a given concentration of acetic acid is directly proportional to 2x. Now we will substitute X, so lambda MC is directly proportional to X is what means A alpha. X is A alpha, that we have substituted. Next we will take lambda m naught. Lambda m naught is directly proportional to lambda m naught of acetate ion plus lambda m naught of H plus ions. Then lambda m naught of acetic acid is directly proportional to acetate ions how much means A moles, H plus ions how much means A moles. Here acetate ions A moles, H plus ions A moles. Therefore lambda m naught is directly proportional to 2A moles. Now we will substitute these cases. Now we said we came to conclusion lambda m at a given concentration is directly proportional to 2A alpha. Lambda m at a given concentration is directly proportional to 2A alpha. Okay. This we can rewrite as lambda m at a given concentration is equal to some constant into 2A alpha. Alpha is called degree of dissociation. Next condition is lambda m naught is directly proportional to 2A. That we will take. Lambda m naught is directly proportional to 2A. This we can write as lambda m naught is equal to some constant into 2A. Now from these two, we can come to the conclusion that alpha is equal to lambda m at a given concentration by lambda m at infinitely diluted solution. So now we got a relation that alpha and lambda m relation we got using these two. Using these two, we are getting this one. The alpha is called degree of dissociation equal to lambda mc molar conductivity at a given concentration, lambda m naught molar conductivity at a zero concentration. Now using these two only we got this one. It is alpha is called degree of dissociation, that is equal to lambda mc, that is called molar conductivity at a given concentration, lambda m naught, that is called molar conductivity at zero concentration. Zero concentration means infinitely diluted solution. Sorry. So now we got a relation between alpha and lambda m. Alpha and lambda m relation we got. Next point we will see. Next point is what means lambda m naught of H plus. Lambda m naught of H plus we will take. Lambda m naught of H plus is how much means 349.6 Siemens centimeter square per mole. Lambda m naught of H plus. We will take Na plus. Lambda m naught of Na plus. Lambda m naught of Na plus how much means 50.1 Siemens centimeter square per mole. We will take lambda m naught of K plus. Lambda m naught of K plus is 73.5 Siemens centimeter square per mole. Like this is set. Similarly, other cations are there. Now, you see, lambda m naught of H plus you see, lambda m naught of Na plus you see, lambda m naught of K plus you see. Set. Lambda m naught of Na plus, lambda m naught of K plus are different because nature is different. Therefore, similarly, lambda m naught of H plus is different from these two. Why? Because nature is different. Sorry. We will see the difference. Na plus and K plus difference, we will see how much difference is there, you see. H plus and Na plus difference, you see. H plus and K plus difference, you see. This indicates difference is much high. That means lambda m naught of H plus is much high. Difference is much high. Here also difference much high. Here difference is less. Na plus K plus difference is less, but H plus Na plus difference is high. That means this indicates among the cations, H plus is showing very high conductivity. Among the cations, H plus is having very high lambda m naught. Why is it so? Okay, of course, H plus size is very low. Therefore, lambda m naught is very high. Okay. H plus size is very low. Therefore, H plus can go for higher extent of hydration, no, when compared to other cations. So if you take hydration is high for H plus means that point is contradictory to this point, no. It is going for higher extent of hydration when compared to this means this value is contradictory to that point, no. So we cannot take hydration. So we are unable to consider that size. Unable to consider size of H plus. Sorry. Size of H plus we cannot consider. So hydration also we cannot consider. Then how to explain it's a very high lambda m naught of H plus, that we have to see. Sir. Now we will take Na plus. Na plus is giving lambda m naught this much. That means Na plus is moving towards cathode. Therefore, it is carrying current. So it has lambda m naught. In the same way, H plus is a cation. It is moving towards cathode. It is carrying current. Therefore, it is having lambda m naught. But why the difference is much high? Here see the difference. Difference is low. Difference is there. Why? Because size of Na plus and K plus is different. Extent of hydration is different. Extent of solvation is different. So size of solvated ions are different. Therefore, difference is there in lambda m naught. But the difference is this much. Will it be difference this much in here? No. It is having huge value. That means some other concept is contributing this value. Sorry, what is that? We'll see. Now, to understand this point, let us consider cathode here. Let us consider cathode here and anode here. To understand like this, we have taken. To understand this point, we have taken anode like this here. Sir. Now, if you take in the here electrolytic solution, here we have taken electrolytic solution. If you take Na plus aqueous, you are taking, suppose Na plus ion is there, means Na plus ion moving towards this cathode, therefore it is carrying current. Sorry, Na plus ion is carrying current. In the same way, K plus ions. Now H plus ions. If you take H plus aqueous, H plus ions present means the H plus ions moving towards cathode, therefore it is carrying current as like Na plus K plus, as like Na plus K plus. Okay, as like cations. So in what way cations are moving? In the same way H plus ions also moving, therefore it is carrying current. Okay. So in what way all the cations are moving towards cathode? In that way only H plus ion also moving towards cathode, so it is having current carrying ability. But the value is much high. Why is it so? That we have to see. Now let us consider H plus here. H plus here we will consider. Now we will consider aqueous solution means water molecules are there. Aqueous solution means water molecules present. The water molecules also we will consider. In all the places water molecules are there, as well as H plus ions are present, even anions also present. Sorry. Now we will see this H plus ion. This H plus ion can go to cathode by movement. That point we discussed. Now we will see another way. Another way we will discuss. Between this oxygen and H plus, what bond is possible means dative bond is possible. Due to dative bond, what happens means it becomes hydronium ion. Due to dative bond, it becomes what means it becomes hydronium ion. It becomes hydronium ion. See, H plus is there here, water is there here. Between them, what is possible means dative bond is possible. Due to dative bond, hydronium ion is possible. Sorry, hydronium ion is possible, we said. Okay, next possibility we will see. Next possibility we will consider. Next possibility, what means between these two hydrogen bonding is possible. Due to hydrogen bonding, what happens means between these two hydrogen bonding is possible. Due to that it becomes H3O plus, it becomes H2. Sir. Now we will discuss in another way. We will discuss here between these two, between these hydrogen bonding is possible. Therefore, it becomes H3O plus, it becomes H2. Sir. Next, between these hydrogen bonding is possible, so it becomes H3O plus, it becomes water, it becomes H2. Between these hydrogen bonding is possible, so it becomes H3O plus, therefore it becomes water. Sir. Now this cathode is attracting this H plus, so that H plus goes to this cathode, therefore it becomes water. Now see, here H plus is there. This H plus has gone to cathode, not by traveling, not by moving. This H plus is reaching the cathode not by as like other cations. It is moving what? Through hydrogen bonding. Therefore, this H plus is carrying current, one by translational motion, another by through hydrogen bonding, so that lambda m naught of H plus is much high. This is called Groth's conduction. This is called what means Groth's conduction. This is called Groth's conduction. This is called Groth's conduction. So this Groth's conduction in the sense what means hydrogen bonding. Through hydrogen bonding, lambda m naught of H plus is there. So lambda m naught of H plus is much high. Why? Because one is one contribution to by translational motion, another contribution by hydrogen bonding. Sir. So lambda m naught of H plus is much high, we are saying. In the same way, lambda m naught of OH minus is much high. Lambda m naught of OH minus is much high by Groth's conduction, we can see. So next point we will see. Now we will take lambda m naught of Na plus. We will take lambda m naught of Na plus is 50.1 Siemen centimeter square per mole. Then we will take Mg2 plus that is 106 Siemen centimeter square per mole. Now how the lambda m naught value is there, we will see. Na plus Mg2 plus values you see. Na plus value is 50, Mg2 plus value is 106. That means Mg2 plus is a double of Na plus. Mg2 plus is a double of Na plus. Why is it so? In the sense Mg2 plus charge you see 2 plus, Na plus charge you see plus 1. So Mg2 plus charge is more when compared to Na plus. So current carrying ability of Mg2 plus is high when compared to Na plus. Therefore only lambda m naught is varying. So charge is different. Therefore lambda m naught is different. If charge is high, if charge increases, lambda m naught also increases. If charge increases, lambda m naught also increases, we are saying. Sorry, okay. Next, so up to this what we discussed in the sense molar conductivity we discussed. In the molar conductivity, next we will see, next we are seeing in the molar conductivity conductometric titrations. In the molar conductivity, next topic is what means conductometric titrations. Conductometric titrations. Now first what is titration, that we will see. What is titration? What is the meaning of titration? Titration means what we will take means burette we will take. Titration in the sense we have to take a burette. Burette we will take. Burette we will take. Then we will take what in the sense conical flask. We are taking conical flask. In the conical flask we will take solution using pipette. Using pipette we are taking solution in the conical flask. Then we will do titration. Titration means this burette solution. Burette solution we will add into conical flask solution. This burette solution we are adding into conical flask solution. Then we will we will shake the conical flask solution. So chemical reaction takes place. Using this chemical reaction, unknown concentration can be determined. That is called titration. In the titration, acid-base titration is there. Acid-base titration means in the conical flask, suppose if you take acid, in the burette you will take base. It is called acid-base titration. Next, redox titration is there. Redox titration means in burette, suppose you are taking oxidizing agent, means in pipette, in conical flask you will take reducing agent. You will do titration. Next, precipitation titration is there. In the same way, conductometric titration is there. Conductometric titration in the sense what you have to do means this we have to connect to, this is this solution is connected to conductivity cell. It is connected to what means conductivity cell. So to do that, what we have to do, that we will see. Conductivity cell we have to consider. Therefore what shall we do means we will take another arrangement. Another arrangement in what we will take, we will see. Now we will take like this beaker we will take. Here we will keep conductivity cell. Conductivity cell we will take, keep conductivity cell means it is glass vessel. it is platinum wire, it is platinum foil, it is platinum wire, it is platinum foil. Then here it is glass, it is glass, it is also glass, it is also glass. Now it is connected, like this, it is conductivity cell. Now conical flask solution, we will take here, pipette solution we will take here, pipette solution we are taking, pipette solution. Then we will keep one glass rod, we will keep, it is a glass rod. Now see that it is a burette solution, it is a conical flask solution, it is a glass rod in order to stir, it is a conductivity cell, it is a conductivity cell. First you take conical flask solution. For this conical flask solution, what is the conductivity that you can measure using this conductivity cell? So we got conductivity. Conductivity means conductivity is nothing but what? 1 by rho. Conductivity is nothing but 1 by rho. 1 by rho is nothing but what? 1 by r into L by A. Here what is L? L is called distance between these two electrodes. A is called area of cross section, of this electrode. Then R is called resistance, Okay, this is one formula. So using this conductivity cell, what we can get in the sense this conductivity we can get, this conductivity we are getting, sir. So we got conductivity using this conductivity cell. If you know the conductivity, then we can find lambda m. Lambda m is equal to conductivity by C, concentration. So it is called what means it is called molar conductivity, it is conductivity, it is concentration. This kappa we can get from here, concentration is this one, it is a concentration, we will get molar conductivity. Sir, we are getting molar conductivity, we are getting, okay. Molar conductivity we got, sir. Now you add this burette solution, using glass rod, stir the contents and find the conductivity. If you know the conductivity, you can find molar conductivity. Then again add burette solution, stir the contents, chemical reaction takes place. Now you see the concentration, you know the concentration, and using this conductivity you find, you can get lambda m. Sir, now we will take the titration called titration, what means strong acid versus strong base titration. Strong acid versus strong base titration will take. Strong acid, what means HCl solution, strong base, what means sodium hydroxide solution, strong base, what means sodium hydroxide solution. Sorry. So we have taken a HCl solution and sodium hydroxide solution. Suppose HCl solution concentration is this concentration is 0.1 molar. We have to find this concentration. We have to find sodium hydroxide concentration. Sodium hydroxide solution concentration we have to find. HCl solution concentration given is 0.1 molar. Now using this conductometric titration, we have to find sodium hydroxide solution concentration. Sir, how to find, we will see. First you take this HCl solution in this vessel. Using this conductivity cell, find the molar conductivity of HCl. So you are finding molar conductivity of HCl. You found molar conductivity of HCl. Sir, now we will go for the graph. We are going for the graph. In the graph, we will take molar conductivity here. Here we will take volume of sodium hydroxide added. Volume of sodium hydroxide added we will take here. Now first volume of sodium hydroxide added is 0. Volume of sodium hydroxide added is 0 means this vessel contains only HCl solution. Only HCl solution. Now you are taking HCl in this conical flask. In this vessel you are taking, in this burette, you are taking sodium hydroxide solution. In this burette you are taking sodium hydroxide solution. In this vessel, you are taking HCl solution. HCl solution. Volume of sodium hydroxide added is 0. So this vessel contains only HCl solution. Using this conductivity cell, you are finding molar conductivity. That molar conductivity value is suppose this much. Suppose this much. Okay. Now let us add certain amount of sodium hydroxide from burette. So using this burette, you are adding this much amount of sodium hydroxide into this conical, into this vessel. Using this stirrer, using this glass rod, stir the contents. Now the chemical reaction, let it take place. What is the chemical reaction? In the sense, acid is reacting with the base to give salt and water, like this taking place. Now what happens means, due to this reaction, concentration of HCl decreases. Concentration of HCl decreases. Sodium hydroxide is completely consumed. Sodium chloride is formed and water is formed. Now concentration of HCl is decreased. Sir, okay. Now here what are the ions present we will see. Here what are the ions present we will see. Here what are the ions present means H plus ions present, Cl minus ions present, and Na plus ions present. Na plus ions present. Initially what are the ions present, that point we will see. Initially what are the ions present, that point we will see. Initially what are the ions present we will see. Initially these are the ions present. Initially if you see, initially in the sense volume of sodium hydroxide added is 0. Initially in the sense sodium hydroxide added is 0. Only HCl is there. H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous are there. H plus is carrying current. Cl minus ions are carrying current. Therefore, you are getting lambda m. Lambda m of HCl is this much. You are adding sodium hydroxide. You are adding sodium hydroxide some amount into this one. Therefore, chemical reaction takes place. Due to chemical reaction, what happens means after adding sodium hydroxide. Now at this point, after adding sodium hydroxide, what is there means H plus ions are there, Cl minus ions are there, and Na plus ions are there. Na plus ions are there. Now which are carrying current in the sense H plus is carrying current, Cl minus carrying current, Na plus is carrying current. This total is called lambda m. Total is called lambda m of the solution. Lambda m of the solution we have to see. Now lambda m of the solution initially, lambda m of the solution at this condition, at this case means you have added some amount of sodium hydroxide. So lambda m of solution at this case is nothing but H plus contribution plus Cl minus contribution and Na plus contribution. Lambda m of solution at this condition, is nothing but H plus contribution and Cl minus contribution. Now lambda m at this condition, do you say same or different? Lambda m at this condition, do you say same or different? If you say different, whether it is becoming less or becoming high, that you say. Now see, initially in this vessel, what you are taking means HCl solution you are taking. Initially in this vessel you are taking HCl solution. HCl solution is having H plus ions and Cl minus ions. H plus ions are carrying current, Cl minus ions are carrying current. Therefore, lambda m of initial solution is equal to lambda m of H plus and lambda m of Cl minus. Sum of these two contributions is called lambda m of solution initially. When you, after adding this much sodium hydroxide, in the solution, what is there means H plus ions are there, Cl minus ions are there, sodium ions are there. In this solution, like this chemical reaction took place. Now at this condition, solution contains H plus ions, Cl minus ions and Na plus ions and water molecules. At this condition, lambda m of solution is nothing but sum of these three. Lambda m of solution at this condition is nothing but sum of these three contributions, sum of these three contributions. Now you say lambda m of solution initial value and lambda m of solution at this condition. Do you feel that lambda m of solution initial and lambda m of solution at this condition same or different? What do you say? Same do you say or different do you say? Sorry, okay. Now we will see. Okay, you said different you are saying. Different means which value is high, which value is low. You are saying different, you said. Lambda m is different, you said. Now, which is having higher value, which is having lower value? Initial is having higher value, or now the given condition at this place lower value. Initial is higher or at this place higher. Which is higher you are saying? Now you are saying HCl is low. That means initial is low you are saying. Initial is low you are saying. Sir, we will see this point. Initial is low you are saying. Okay. Now, HCl solution we have taken. HCl solution. HCl solution concentration is how much means 0.1 molar and volume is how much in the sense, for example, 20 ml we have taken. Like this you take. Sodium hydroxide solution. Sodium hydroxide solution concentration we do not know. Concentration we do not know, that we have to find. But we will consider in order to understand, I am taking it is 0.1 molar. And the volume is how much we are adding from burette as per that. Volume of sodium, actually concentration of sodium hydroxide solution we have to find. For that case only we are going for titration. But we have to understand the concept, so that only I have taken sodium hydroxide solution concentration is 0.1 molar. Volume is question mark means from burette only we are adding sodium hydroxide solution. So you have to see the burette. How much solution, how much sodium hydroxide solution you added from burette, you have to see. Sir, due to addition of NaOH into HCl, what happens means reaction takes place. So HCl reacting with the sodium hydroxide and gives what means sodium chloride and water. Sodium chloride and water. Initial value we will see. Initially how much HCl is there means you have taken 20 ml of HCl, 0.1 molar, multiply these two, you will get how much HCl means 2 millimole of HCl. 2 millimole of HCl means that is having 2 millimole of H plus ions, 2 millimole of H plus ions and 2 millimole of Cl minus ions. 2 millimole of Cl minus ions present. Now this much H plus is carrying current, this much Cl minus is carrying current. Now sum of these two contributions giving now this much H plus ions, this much H plus ions carrying current. So it is contributing lambda m, it is also carrying current, it is contributing lambda m. So lambda m of initial solution, lambda m of initial solution is nothing but these two, sum of these two contributions. Okay. Now let us add NaOH. NaOH how much is added means now NaOH solution is added. NaOH solution is added. NaOH solution is added. Suppose you added how much means 1 ml of NaOH solution you added. Okay. We will not add 1 ml at a time. How we will add a burette solution into conical flask in the sense drop by drop we have to add. So 1 drop means it is not 1 ml. 1 drop means it is not 1 ml. So for understanding only we have taken 1 ml of solution is added, we considered. Sir. So sodium hydroxide solution added is how much means 1 ml of sodium hydroxide solution is added. So you are adding 1 ml of sodium hydroxide solution, you are adding means how much sodium hydroxide solution is reacted means it is sodium hydroxide solution you added 1 ml, it is 0.1 molar, multiply this 1 ml and 0.1 molar, multiply this 1 ml and 0.1 molar, how much you are getting means 0.1 millimole of sodium hydroxide. 0.1 millimole of sodium hydroxide is added. 0.1 millimole of sodium hydroxide is added. How much sodium hydroxide reacting means 0.1 millimole of sodium hydroxide reacting. 0.1 millimole of sodium hydroxide reacted. How much sodium hydroxide you added, that much reacted. So how much HCl reacted means 0.1 millimole of HCl is reacted. 0.1 millimole of HCl is reacted. So how much NaCl produced means 1 millimole of NaCl is produced. 1 millimole of NaCl is produced. Now after adding NaOH, what are present, we'll see. After adding NaOH, resulting solution contains what are the ions, we'll see. Resulting solution contains what are the ions. That if you see what are the ions are there means 0.1 millimole of NaCl is produced, that means 0.1 millimole of Na plus ions present. 0.1 millimole of Na plus ions are present. Okay. 0.1 millimoles of Na plus ions present. Next, 0.1 millimole of NaCl is produced means 0.1 millimoles of Na plus ions present. Okay. Initially, how much HCl is there means 2 millimoles of HCl is there. So 2 millimoles of H plus ions present. How much HCl reacted means 0.1 millimole of HCl reacted. That means 0.1 millimole of H plus ions reacted. So initially you have taken 2 millimole of H plus ions. How much H plus ions reacted? 0.1 millimole of H plus ions reacted. Therefore, how many millimoles of H plus ions present means 1.9 millimoles of H plus ions present. 1.9 millimoles of H plus ions present because 0.1 millimole of H plus reacted. Sorry. Initially you have taken 2 millimole of Cl minus ions. How many millimole of Cl minus ions reacted means 0.1 millimole of Cl minus ions reacted. Here Cl minus ions are produced. How many millimoles of Cl minus ions produced means 0.1 millimole of Cl minus ions. See that it is here 0.1 millimole of Cl minus ions present here. That much reacted. 0.1 millimole of Cl minus ions produced. Therefore, there is no change in the number of millimoles of Cl minus ions. So 2 millimoles of Cl minus ions we can write. 2 millimoles of Cl minus ions we have written. Sorry. Now we will compare. Now the solution after adding sodium hydroxide, resulting solution contains sodium ions, H plus ions, Cl minus ions. After adding sodium hydroxide, resulting solution contains sodium ions, H plus ions, Cl minus ions. It is carrying current, it is carrying current, it is also carrying current. So molar conductivity of resulting solution is nothing but sum of these three contributions. Sorry. Initially solution contains H plus ions, Cl minus ions. These two are carrying current. So that molar conductivity of initial solution is nothing but sum of these two contributions. Sorry. Now we have to compare molar conductivity of initial solution and molar conductivity of resulting solution after adding sodium hydroxide. Okay. Here initially 2 millimoles of Cl minus ions are there. After adding sodium hydroxide, 2 millimoles of Cl minus ions are there. So with respect to Cl minus ions, there is no change. But you can say, you can think in another way. Due to addition of sodium hydroxide solution, volume is changing, therefore concentration is changing. So due to that also molar conductivity will change. In that case also you may have an idea. You are saying that initially 2 millimoles of Cl minus ions, okay. After adding sodium hydroxide solution also 2 millimoles of Cl minus ions, okay. Here initially volume is 20 ml means after adding sodium hydroxide solution volume is not 20 ml. No? Volume is more than 20 ml only. No? Therefore concentration of Cl minus here concentration